So I'm blindfolded, told to put my hands out in front of me and walk forward until I stop on the line. There's about 30 people in the room, and I'm the first to go. And the problem isn't that I'm blindfolded. The real problem is that the line is imaginary. So I start walking, take a couple of steps, dead silent in a room about this size. Take another couple of steps and pause. Then I feel a slight tug on my shoulder. So I take a step back, feel another tug, take another step back and pause. Okay, I'm on the line. And then a voice says, "You're on the line. Take off your blindfold." Hi, I'm Michaud Garneau, and that story, which I'll get into in a moment, happened when I was 23 on my first day at clown school. I was there to learn how to make people laugh. Why? I don't know, maybe to be more charming and attractive. Did it work? Of course it did. But I was about to learn much more than that. Now, maybe you think you know what clown is. Red nose, big shoes, tiny car. But clown is much more than that. Clown is a philosophy. It's a philosophy about honesty, intention, generosity, failure. All the things that make us human and all the things that so often make us stumble. The work I do now seems very different. I'm a leadership consultant, helping managers communicate better with their colleagues, improving workplace productivity by improving workplace culture. You've heard the buzzwords, you know the buzzwords, but the truth is, and although this isn't how I advertise it, all the skills I'm teaching is everything that I learned in clown school. And the results that my clients are getting is proof that the clown is the leader of the future. So, I'm in class, take off my blindfold, and look around. My clown teacher, Sue, is off to the side here. The rest of the class is behind me and no one else is around, but someone just touched my shoulder and pulled me back. They did it twice. I felt it. Great, sit down next. The next person stands up and puts on their blindfold. And I watch as my clown teacher, Sue, paces around the room and does this. Put your hands out in front of you and walk forward until you stop on the line. The blindfolded person starts walking and they undershoot. Then Sue, from 40 feet away, starts doing this. And starts pulling this imaginary string that's attached to the blindfolded person's shoulder. And the blindfolded person's shoulder starts doing this. And they start walking forward. All the way until they stop on the line. The line that Sue established with her breath. Now, every single person in class that day found that line, even though they were blindfolded, and even though the line was imaginary. I don't believe in magic or mind control. I didn't then, I don't now. But what I learned that day was the power of intention. Sue was able to pull us all to that line using her intention alone. And because she felt it, we all did too, even with a blindfold on. Now, in the business world, intention translates to something more recognizable: confidence. And when I do this exercise with my clients, when I get corporate types to put on a blindfold and walk forward until they stop on an imaginary line I've created with my breath, I have to be confident. And if I am, and if I feel it, they do too. But if I'm worried about looking weird, then it doesn't work. And I look really weird. It might feel foolish or lofty to inspire a group of people toward a shared vision. But when a good leader, like a good clown, commits to that vision, that's when suddenly their employees and coworkers find themselves right on that imaginary line. Now, maybe you think I'm painting a rosy picture of clowns. Maybe you think it's all fun and games, but there are exactly two fun things that happened at clown school: the imaginary line game on the first day and the potluck we had on the last. The rest was hard. In order to show up as a good clown, you have to face your fears head on. The theory goes, once you face them, you can laugh at them. Then you get comfortable going to those places in front of others. You get comfortable with the discomfort. Now, this sounds good, and people love talking about embracing discomfort on LinkedIn, but it's about 1,000 times easier said than done. Before clown school, I was too cool. I acted like I didn't care about anything and that nothing fazed me. But the truth is, I adapted that behavior because I cared so much about what other people thought of me. I wanted every single person that met me to love me. And I thought they'd love me more if I was easy, if I didn't have needs. Then I go to clown school, and on like the third day, Sue says to me in front of the whole class, "Michaud, you need to stop smoking weed and give a shit about something." Ouch. A lot of people cry in clown school. It's a strange place. So that desire for people to love me, that's still here. Like right now, like in this moment, as I'm giving this talk, I want you all to love me. But after my training, I can just admit that and we can laugh about it. It's not something that I need to hide. The path to being a good leader, like the path to being a good clown, has to start with you. And not just your fun, easy qualities, but those ugly, hard ones too. And it's those ugly, hard ones, those are the most valuable. Because doing the work of accepting those parts of yourself with love is the only way you can extend that generosity to others. So what happens when a good clown who's doing everything right fails? It happens. You know why? Humans. Quick, raise your hand for me if you've never failed. No one? Okay, great. You're all humans. You're all qualified to be clowns, and you're all qualified to be effective leaders. There's this clown move that we see all the time. A joke doesn't land, and then the clown does this little trick. They acknowledge that the joke didn't land. Then what happens? They get the laugh. Why? Because they responded to what was happening in the room with honesty. They said what everybody else was thinking. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's that the clown's superpower is their ability to acknowledge what's really happening, often what's unsaid, and it's through that honesty that they find the laugh. Now, let's end on a famous example of a clown, something you all might have read in high school. Has anyone here read King Lear? You? Okay. Could you tell us the story, please? Just kidding, just kidding. So, at the beginning of King Lear, Lear demands that each of his daughters publicly flatter him, saying the daughter that flatters him the most will inherit the greatest amount of his land. Not great leadership. But unfortunately, that's something that we still recognize today. A leader with a big ego that demands flattery. And our world was built to support leaders like that. But we're realizing that that wasn't working for a number of reasons. We can do better. There's another character in Lear, the fool, a clown. And the fool makes us laugh. And the fool shares the stage. And the fool speaks the truth. And in this new world where we're all struggling to figure out how to be an effective leader, I believe it's Lear's fool with all these skills who will emerge on top. Because the clown is the leader of the future.